Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to SA Accounting Academy. Here's a short clip on one of our previous webinars. I hope that you really do enjoy it.
All right, so warm welcome to you. My name is Letty Janse van Vuren, and I will be your facilitator for the next 2 hours. Today, we are going to be looking at the new quality management implementation guides. Everybody is talking about quality management, suite of quality management standards, new and revised suite, whatever you call it. There are new standards that have been issued. They are the new pronouncements. They're not effective yet. And we are now in the window period where we have the luxury of being able to get ready. That's what these implementation guides are all about. So as you can see at the bottom there, I said issued by the IAASB in June and September. They actually issued both guides in September. And then they reissued an updated version just now in September on ISQM 1. So I'll make sure that we go through the new one with you. And basically what we'll be looking at today, look, the document is gigantic. What my focus is with today is I want to make sure that I give you an overview of what's in those publications so that you can use it to literally plan and implement the standards by the effective date. All right, so there are some examples for illustrative purposes. They have been set out in the implementation guides very nicely. So at the end of today, you will have all the implementation guides. If you do not have the final quality management standards, I can also make those available to you. But let's just see what's on the agenda first, and we'll work our way through. Right. So those of you that do not know me yet, I do see a couple of new names. That is me, and I am a professional trainer and webinar host. This is what I do. I do a lot of research. I write my own webinars, present, and so forth. And then prior to that, I was at SAICA for 4 years, where I was in charge of the new training officers and the monitoring of the training officers. And that's exactly like a system of quality control. That's what I implemented there. And that sort of it makes it easier for me to understand how difficult it is to get the standards first of all, and then to use those and implement. Right. And then once you've implemented, now you need to review and evaluate and monitor yourself and all sorts. So it is a constant process. Right. I still do some consultation for smaller audit firms whenever they need me for whatever they need me, whether it is an opinion or some technical advice on what their audit opinion should be, or whether it is help. We've got an URBA review or a psycho review coming up. Any and all of those. I'm a professional fire putter outer, if you want to call it that. Right. So anytime somebody has an issue. And then very important as well, I am responsible for the monthly compliance and legislation updates that we have at SAAA. All right. So if we go and look at what's on the agenda for today, I'm going to start off with an introduction and a short introduction on what the suite of QMS is all about, right? Then I'll be taking you through the fact sheet, the ISQM fact sheet. After that, we'll be looking at the actual implementation guides. The first one being ISQM 1. That's quite a hefty document. It's 101 pages. The second one is ISQM 2 on engagement quality control reviews. And then I'll just finish off with a couple of closing remarks. Right. So that's what's on the agenda for today. As with all my webinars, I just have something on the lighter side for you. The first one is the quote on the right-hand side, and it says their quality is everyone's responsibility. It's not just one person in the office that is supposed to make sure that everything, that quality management systems exist. It has got to be from top to bottom, everybody is responsible for that. Yes, one person might be accountable. There's a difference between being accountable and being responsible. So, in terms of the quality control systems, the better you communicate in terms of what the levels of responsibilities are and who's responsible for what, the better off everybody is. All right. But remember, quality is everyone's responsibility. And then on the right hand side, we see this slouchy little man walking with his hair all in different directions. He's unshaven and he's wearing wrinkly clothes and everything. The lady says to the guy, the scary part is he's in charge of quality control. And this just illustrated the fact so nicely to me that we have to lead by example. We cannot simply just sit back and say, there's your quality control manual. That's the firm's quality control manual. Read it, live it, love it. Okay, you can't do that. Gone are the days where you could just say, oh, but we've got a manual. We've got a manual, yes, and I'm quite happy with it. You have to actually make sure that it filters down to all levels of the relevant staff. Some of the abbreviations that I'll be using today are always, it's difficult sometimes if you're not used to you working with these. You might think to yourself, what the heck is Letty on? She's using all these weird things. IAASB is the body that issued this document, okay? Stands for the International Auditing and Assurance Standards Board. They are the ones that are responsible for the ISAs at the bottom, for the International Standards of Auditing. And they are a committee, they're a board, they're board members that belong to IFAC. IFAC is the International Federation of Accountants. And you'll find that whatever professional body you belong to, they probably are a member of IFAC. Okay? CIPA, CIBA, SICA, ACCA, CIMA, the Institute of Internal Auditors, everybody belongs to IFAC. All right. Because that's where we get our international standards from. In terms of ISQM, stands for International Standard of Quality Control. And remember, we have two. We've got ISQM 1 and ISQM 2. Okay. So those are the two we've got. Then wherever I use the term QM, it stands for quality management. And then specifically in ISQM1 or this implementation guide, they use SOQM, SOQM quite a lot. And that merely stands for System of Quality Management. Right. So it's no longer called quality control because something you control implies that it's one person that's sort of turning the knobs and controlling and driving the steering wheel. Quality management involves the terminology that it's much wider. All right. And then lastly, QMS stands for the Quality Management Standards. So I just thought I'd give you that. All right. As a quick introduction to the quality management standards, let's just have a look. I tried to give you a lot of information on the slides, apart from what's included in the guide. Wherever it's included in the guide, we will refer to the guide itself. But you should know that last year in December, the IAASB released 3 new and revised QMSs, and it's ISQM1, ISQM2, and ISA 220 revised. Okay, which deals basically with engagement quality control or engagement quality management for an audit of financial statements. Because ISA is an international standard of auditing that applies only to auditing engagements. If you are a company that basically performs independent reviews, then what will be applicable to you will be ISQM1 and ISQM2, but not ISA 220. All right. ISA 220, very important, is only applicable where you conduct an audit of financial statements. Now, why did they issue this? They wanted to strengthen the firm's approach to quality management. And remember, all of this came about as a result of Steinhoff, where auditors and accountants' names became mud. And people were saying, yeah, well, it's because the auditors aren't doing what they're supposed to. And And we actually had a lot of reputational damage to us, to our profession, not to you specifically in terms of your name.
I hope that you enjoyed that video. For more of our webinar videos, go to www.accountingacademy.co.za. Thank you and have a lovely day.